guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Walker Ford in super sunny Clearwater, Florida, and I have the first for 2021. This is right off the truck, a 2021 Shelby GT500. But before we get into this supercharged muscle car, let's talk about what's going on real quick here. Shelby, been associated with Ford since the 1960s, really made the Mustang that true performance vehicle. Fast forward to this generation of the GT500, you're seeing that name on the car, Shelby, that Cobra sitting there, but you're also getting that same great performance. Now the GT500 has an interesting tale. First year was 1967. The last year of that version 1 muscle car era was 1970. For many years, no GT500 until 2007 when it came back with a vengeance of a supercharged V8 muscle car. Then it disappeared in 2014, but in 2020 this car came back and had that supercharged performance, but it also was bringing extra handling and touches that you only would find on cars that would cost twice or 3 times the amount of this one. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for that supercharged, that's what that means, supercharged, that supercharged muscle car, do you go Camaro ZL1 or 1LE, ZL1 1LE? Do you go Hellcat Red Eye with the Challenger? Or should you be going this route? But I also want to talk about what's new for 2021 for the GT500, because there are a few different changes that you can get on your particular Ford supercharged muscle car. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this Ford Performance Blue and get all of those questions answered, plus some. Right off the bat, classic color. Ford Performance Blue really kind of mimics what was going on with the colors in the 1960s with Shelby's race campaign program, especially on the Daytona coupes. A lot of people forget about those Daytona coupes. Everybody focuses on the 427 Cobra or the GT40s, but the Daytona coupe actually was super successful before the GT40 was at their success in 1966 at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. New for 2021 are some colors. You could get antimatter blue, which we featured here on Rady's Rides on a Mustang GT. It's like a midnight metallic blue. You could, of course, get grabber yellow, one of those classic true muscle car colors, and you could also get carbonized gray. I still think Ford Performance Blue fits it to a T. When we get to the front of the business, you're still gonna get that very aggressive styling. The new thing for 2021 is that besides a standard GT500, which is basically what this one is, there is a carbon fiber handling package. Not carbon fiber track pack. You still have the $18,000 plus carbon fiber track package, but for 2021, there's the handling package, and I'll talk more about that as we go down the side of the vehicle, but you're still gonna get those same headlights that have been around since 2015. It's the older style. I actually dig the style on the front end of the business. You do have that gloss black. I am still gonna zonk it, but what I'm not gonna zonk is the extra width. The GT500 has that extra width and they fill it in with some of the gloss black, some gloss black in the lower corner. But what I do love about the GT500, even more than my GT350R, is I love the wire mesh grille areas and the corners, fully functional for all those heat exchangers as we come across the nose. Really cool. This is the first time that we have featured a GT500 on Rady's Rides that has the side stripes, but not the over-the-top stripes. And I think with Ford Performance Blue, it just, look at how it fits those body lines. You have the largest Cobra badge ever put on a Ford product right up front. More of that wire mesh, fully functional, everything gonna channel the air exactly the way it's supposed to happen. We do have a large gloss black area, and this is a little bit too much gloss black for me. I wish they would have done something a little bit different, but they stamped the GT500 nameplate right into that front midsection, more of that functional wire mesh, and since this is not a track package, it has the smaller front splitter, which for most people that are gonna daily drive this or maybe just drive it on the street and never touch the track, this splitter is so much better because it doesn't extend as far and it's easier to navigate through parking lots, even your own garage. but it's got the Shelby name on it. We get up onto the hood. What do we get when we get a muscle car? You get that bulge. Everybody wants the bulge. We have it on this GT500. We also have classic hood pins. So we have the return of hood pins to keep that hood down as this car accelerates up to 180 miles an hour. Massive heat extractor. The one zonk that I have is that it's gloss black. But there are companies out there like Anderson Composites, which are making carbon fiber versions of this that you can swap it out. But I love the bulge, and I love the way it's gonna drag that hot air from underneath the hood, because there's a lot of hot air coming from that Predator V8. It produces a lot of heat, and we don't like heat. Heat robs us of horsepower. When we come around the bend on your standard GT500, you are still gonna get 20-inch wheels. So you don't have to go carbon fiber handling package or carbon fiber track package to get 20-inch wheels. The main difference is that they're not carbon fiber. They are aluminum. The nice split spoke design, gloss black, kind of matches all the gloss black on the front and up on the hood. You're gonna get those same massive 6-piston, bright tomato red. Put that tomato sauce all over your spaghetti and gobble it down. Brembo calipers with 16.5-inch rotors. That's bigger than the pizza that you ate last night. Yes, you back there, that's bigger than your pizza. Fully ventilated, 2-piece to give you nice optimum braking, good pedal feel. I mentioned carbon fiber handling package. So the carbon fiber handling package will have the carbon fiber wheels off of the track package, the carbon fiber track package. The only difference is they're painted. And if you're wondering, well, why would they paint carbon fiber? Just like on my GT350R that has carbon fiber wheels, it's painted because they don't have to make the carbon fiber look as pretty. When you use the clear coat, you gotta perfect the weaves and everything, no blemishes on those carbon fiber wheels. Painting them, it's a less expensive process, and that's why there's like that in between. You do have the Magna Ride suspension, all 4 corners, even on your standard GT500. Coming down the side, there's those optional side stripes. They are decals, so they're not painted, but they do have that classic look. I wish that it would say GT500. That is a zonk for the side stripes. To have it say GT500 would give it that connection to the past, but you do have that direct connection with the Cobra that's gonna bite you right in your head. I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing around and show how that front fender flares out, and you have that really aggressive side sill. Even on the standard GT500, you got that aggressive side sill that's gonna channel the air down the side of the vehicle. We got the bigger shark fin antenna. Ford decided to switch it up. They decided to change it. Used to be a much lower puck. I'm gonna zonk it. I have it on my own. I don't like it on this one either. Keep working our way back. One thing I wanna focus on with the rear tire setup, first of all, you're getting those great Pilot Sport 4S tires. Gonna give you the grip and the stick. They also give you some nice durability. 315s, so 20-inch wheel, 315 on the width, 30 series sidewall. You're gonna need those 315s to get the power to the ground. I promise you that. 373 gears. Even a non-track package car, look at how the car sits. Ford, that's something that Ford does better than Dodge with the Challenger and Chevy with the Camaro. It just sits so freaking perfect. I love it. Now, when we get to the back, of course, if we got a big bulge, what else do we need that's big? Besides that, yes, we need this big, huge, massive wing. Even on a non-track pack, it's still a very large wing. Remember, the track pack is gonna have that full carbon fiber one, but this one still is massive, gonna give you the downforce, gloss black to match everything else. And then as we come around the back and we drop down, there's another big old Cobra that's gonna bite somebody standing behind it right in the groin. Ow, that would hurt. Working your way down, I love the rear diffuser area on the GT500. You got those massive, absolutely massive. You could take a full-size Red Delicious apple and just throw them into those exhausts and then blow them out on throttle and make yourself some applesauce. But they look really, really sick. Nice slash cut. Why don't we go ahead though? Let's get a bowl of applesauce. Let's pop the hood and check out that Predator V8. All right guys, we got the hood pop. This is the only current Mustang based platform that has a hydraulic hood strut. So you have this massive single hydraulic hood strut. You also have that rain guard. Remember, you get the screws out, you drop the rain guard. If you're doing a track day or an autocross event, that's gonna allow more heat to escape from underneath the hood. Underneath that hood though, one of the sexiest engines ever produced in the history of the automobile. But you're looking at that 5.2 liter Predator supercharged V8. I love the way it's got the name of the person that built it with pride, that nice Cobra badging, and then look at the strut tower brace. It looks like the Golden Gate Bridge. That's how massive that strut tower brace is. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, we're comparing this to the Camaro ZL1, we're comparing this to the Challenger Hellcat and Hellcat Red Eye. How much horsepower out of this beast? It's actually the smallest displacement compared to the competition. 5.2 liter supercharged V8, 760 horsepower though, 625 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to one transmission and one transmission only. That's a 7-speed Tremec DCT transmission. That's a big zonk for me, no manual whatsoever. What Ford is claiming 0 to 60 is 3.4 seconds. Quarter mile is gonna zoom by at 10.8. Top speed is regulated to 180 miles per hour. MPGs, if you're really worried about that, let me show you a Ford EcoSport or some type of hybrid vehicle here at Walker Ford, because she likes to drink 12 miles per gallon in the city, 18 on the highway. When we compare this horsepower-wise to the competition, let's look at the Camaro. So ZL1 and ZL1 LE has a little bit bigger engine, and it's a pushrod engine. 6.2 liter supercharged, it produces 650 horsepower. So almost 100 horsepower less than this vehicle. When you compare it to the Challenger Hellcat, obviously with 710 horsepower, this one has more. But if you go Hellcat Red Eye with your Challenger, now you're looking at 797 horsepower, which the Hellcat Red Eye wins the horsepower number war. The bad news is the Hellcat Red Eye also has a big number as well, and that's the weight of the vehicle compared to this one. But why don't we go ahead, let's stop talking about numbers, let's fire up this GT500 and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this Shelby GT500 Ford Performance Blue. You know, the days are numbered. The days are numbered where you'll be able to buy a brand new supercharged V8 from your local Ford dealership. And I know you're probably asking yourself, well, Joe, I am in a conundrum. I am trying to get the perfect muscle car for myself and for my family. I've looked at the GT500. I don't want a manual, so it doesn't matter to me. I looked at the ZL1, and I looked at the Hellcat and the Hellcat Red Eye. I keep coming back to the GT500. How much is this one without it being super optioned out? Very good question. I'm glad you're having those thoughts. This one, the way that it's optioned out, you're looking at an MSRP of $78,000. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. Now, yes, you're gonna get the same exact door panel that's been on the Mustang since 2015. The only change for the Shelby GT500 are those stripes at the back. The black and the white diagonal stripe, the white stitching. Armrest is actually soft, and the door pocket is on the smaller side, so maybe 2 Krispy Kreme donuts, and that's about it. But I think that's where a lot of the people are gonna, say, hey, why didn't they do something to it? But guess what? If you look at a Challenger door panel, or even the Camaro, still hasn't been greatly changed. I think the Camaro is gonna win when it comes to interior and how modern it looks. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, I do love the way they do the GT500 chassis number plate. This particular GT500 does have the optional carbon fiber, which is fantastic. Nice wet weave. The only problem with this is that it does cause a lot of glare. It looks sexy, looks #race car, but it does cause a lot of glare. You do have your auxiliary gauges, oil pressure and oil temp, probably 2 of the most important gauges that you need to keep an eye on when driving your muscle car. As you drop down, you have an 8-inch infotainment system. Now, the competitor that wins with infotainment is gonna be the Challenger. They only win by a hair though. It's an 8.4 inch system. This is 8 inch, just like on the Camaro, but the one that has the best clarity and graphics is actually gonna be on the Camaro. The easiest to use is gonna be the Challenger. The Uconnect system is the easiest, but this sync system is great too. You go into your home screen, you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, the navigation. You can easily get into your climate controls, which is super simple. Work your way down. This one does have the optional vented and heated seats. So that's something, ventilated and heated, so that's something to think about. You do get that with the Camaro. You can also option that with the Challenger. You got your toggle switches like on a P-51 fighter plane to open up that exhaust. I say let it sing and piss everybody off. Nice aluminum start-stop button. USB, you got a little bit of a cubby here for some atomic fireballs and a 12 volt. Peekaboo, just don't put your finger in that, that's gonna hurt. This is what is new with the GT500. First time ever, 7-speed DCT transmission. I don't really love the rotary dial. I wish that they would have done something a little bit sexier. What would have been the sexiest for me is a manual. And I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, shut up about the manuals. I'm fine with an automatic. That's fine with me too, but that's what you get in here. Flat black. You do have some side stripes, which they took from the door panel. They brought over to the side of the center console. I also like the way you have a Cobra specific key fob for the GT500. That's a nice touch, and that's something that you don't get with the Camaro. You do get obviously the red key when you go with the Hellcat or the Hellcat Red Eye. Nice soft with some stitching, which is nice. Open this up. You could easily put 7 Twinkies in here, a USB and another 12 volt. And then this not having the Recaros, these are gonna be the more comfortable of the seats. Full leather, love the embroidery, love the way they have that cohesive style with the stripes. Ventilated and heated, like I said. The only zonk is that it's an electric bottom and manual back. Now I know a lot of you try to say, hey, well Joe, that's for being able to move the back of the seat very quickly. Guess what? We've been in vehicles that have full electric on the bottom and the top, and they have a manual release to just flip the seat forward. So that to me is a cop-out that they're not making this full electric. But I do love these seats. They don't obviously grip you as much as the Recaros, but they are very, very comfortable. Coming over here though, the business side of things, I want to show you behind the wheel, this flat bottom steering wheel in this GT500. All right guys, here we are behind the business end. I do like the Ford Performance badge on the sill, nice little touch. And then when it comes to the seats, there's your electric seat controls. You do have that lower lumbar, which is fantastic. And then the steering wheel. When comparing this to the Camaro or the Challenger, this is the better wheel. This is the best wheel. Alcantara, the white leather, white stripe up here. You have flat bottom, that of course Cobra that's gonna just put its venom right into your neck. And then my favorite part are the paddles. Absolutely massive. So those are made out of magnesium. I officially tested it with my metal kit before we started reviewing this car. That's gonna allow you to go up and down that 7-speed DCT so effectively. And then of course you're gonna get 12 inches. So you don't get 12 inches with your Challenger. You don't get 12 inches with your Camaro. You get 12 inches with the GT500 in that display. You go into the different modes. And what happens is it actually changes the whole setup. That's one of my favorite things. Line lock, launch control, there's track mode. Yes, we know it's for the track only Ford. It even says track use only. That way they're covered. Also, going this route, non-carbon fiber tri-pack, we do have rear seats like any other Mustang GT, which is nice because when you go carbon fiber tri-pack, you do go rear seat delete. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the trunk because I'm ready to go on throttle in this GT500. All right guys, one of the things that's great about muscle cars today, just like in the past, you have some decent trunk space compared to a sports car, maybe like a Corvette or a Ferrari or an Acura NSX. So popping the trunk, real simple. You get a nice large opening. This one with that tech package does have the subwoofer in the back, but yet you still have more room. Now, if you're wondering what's in the boxes, are those goodies for us, Joe? This one does have the factory car cover and some other accessories. And then check it out. You even have, with all that, you have room for your drag strip and racetrack Twinkies. So thanks to Ricky and Gareth, 2 Radies Rise Patreon members. They left their Twinkies in here. These are the ones that you want to give to the people that you beat at the track as a consolation prize. But you know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this GT500 and go for an on-throttle spin. All right, guys, we're leaving Walker Ford. We're in the 2021 Shelby GT500. Really focusing on, hey, you don't have to spend that $18,000 plus and go carbon fiber track pack. You can still get all the same great basic ingredients that makes this the special sauce when it comes to muscle cars. But let's go ahead real quick. On throttle. Yeah! So it's an amazing experience that, and if you hear those downshifts, this Tremec DCT transmission, the 7-speed, is probably one of the best automated dual clutch systems in the industry right now. And the way that it kind of just dropped down and knew where to be, and then the other thing is when you get out of it and the car starts slowing down and it downshifts so effectively to keep the chassis very, very stable. Just like before, looking out across that hood, having that nice bulge with the heat extractor, that's what makes it extra special. And when you're comparing it to a Camaro ZL1 or the Challenger Hellcat or Hellcat Red Eye, yes, those vehicles have bulges as well, but from this angle, there's just something a little bit extra special with the GT500. Visibility with the lower wing, you still see the wing, so don't worry, it's still there. It didn't fly off the car when you got on throttle, but it's not blocking the view as much, obviously, as the larger wing on the carbon fiber track pack. I do have it in sport mode, and we have the exhaust in track mode. But as you can see, typical Florida drivers and the way things are going, we kind of are gonna have to wait to do a little bit more on throttle. All right, guys, here we go. Let's do a little bit. I'm gonna hit the M. M is for manual shift. Third gear, second gear, on throttle. Here we go. Yeah! Fast shifts, that Magnerite suspension keeps you planted to the ground so that you feel confident, you feel good, you can hit your marks and get the business done. Look at this. Round and round, round we go. Nice and smooth. On throttle, here we go. The sound of that V8. I'll tell you right now, as much as I love my GT350R, this GT500 blows the doors off. I mean, it's that much faster from that 7-speed DCT. Obviously the 760 horsepower, the most powerful Ford production engine, period, bar none, hands down. Go get your Ford GT. It doesn't matter, it's got less power than this GT500. That's how it works. On throttle, here we go. See how she handles? Look at this. Look at this. Nice. I mean, the great news about the 7-speed DCT, besides it being lightning fast, is that it keeps the car stable. When you're on a track, when you're driving your favorite twisty road, you want that stability because that makes you know what the car's doing. That makes you feel what the car's doing, how it's moving around, so that you can feel confident to push harder. If the car is sliding all over the place and you are disconnected to it, you're not going to be fast. Somebody in a Mazda Miata that knows what they're doing is going to blaze right past you through the twisty bits. And this, it really helps keep that chassis super stable, super smooth. I'm going to go ahead and put it back into automatic mode, let it do its thing, so that you can see just how proficient the 7-speed is in this car. It's really amazing how it just knows the downshift. Right there, a downshift for me. It just knows. It's like there's a race car driver in the transmission that is selecting the gears for you. That's how awesome it is. But when you're comparing this to the competition, definitely from a performance standpoint, straight line speed and road course speed. You compare that to a Challenger Hellcat or a Hellcat Red Eye, no. Not gonna happen. The car is way too heavy. The suspension is not as good as this Magnerite suspension. The ZL1's a little bit of a different story. So especially if you go 1LE, that one being the more track focused. And when I say track focused, I'm talking about road course. and you would have to go with the 10-speed automatic. As great as the 10-speed automatic is, this 7-speed DCT just takes the money. I remember when we did the track attack in this GT500 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, coming off the banking, going down the back straightaway, and then having to brake for a sharp left-hand turn, the car just downshifts so nicely in automatic mode. It's unbelievable. But hopefully this gave you that nice little extra sampling taste that I know you like to have with these muscle cars. Is this the one to get over the competition? You'd be crazy not to add it to your list and totally ignore it. But we're gonna get back to Walker Ford, wrap this one up. I'll see you in a split second. Been another great day here at Walker Ford. I definitely gotta thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Mark, Austin, the whole crew, so accommodating to get us their very first. This is their very first 2021 GT500. I don't know, if you're looking for a muscle car that definitely hauls the mail and gives you an on-throttle experience that makes you sweat and the hair in the back of your neck rise, this one does check off a lot of the boxes, and you're not having to spend that extra money, say, for the carbon fiber track package if you don't necessarily go to the track or want that extra expense. When comparing it to the competition though, you're definitely gonna wanna try to get behind the wheel of each of them because they each have such a unique experience. And then I'm glad that I was able to show you the changes for 2021. But if you wanna keep seeing supercharged goodness here on Rady's Rides, and I know that you do, that's called a rhetorical question. Leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you and the channel, there's two ways that you can help out. Click the first link, become a Rady's Rides Patreon member. Click the second link, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Gotta give it up to the muscle behind that camera. Lori working it like a champ, queen of the camera, and just doing the business every angle on this Shelby. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.